So in this video, we are going to learn how to use an AI agent to rate leads and update in Google Sheets. So let's say you have created an online lead gen form using Google Forms, using which you are getting the details of a new lead. Now you want to rate this lead on the basis of their responses, get a summary out of it, also want to get a remark and update all of these details back into the same Google Sheet in which the Google Form leads are added. So this AI agent is going to completely automate this process. This AI agent will first capture the new leads which we are getting from Google Forms and then send the lead responses to AI platform like OpenAI. Using OpenAI, we are going to analyze and rate the leads, and after that, we are going to update the same rating back into the same Google Sheet in which the lead details are added. Now, if you want to know how you can create this AI agent all by yourself, for that, let me just take you to my screen.
So as you can see, this is a lead gen form which I've created using Google Forms. Now, whenever a user will enter their details and makes the form submission, the form responses will be added in this Google spreadsheet. And the AI agent which we have created, this AI agent will start. It will analyze all the responses shared by the user, and on the basis of that, after analyzing it, it is going to give this lead a rating between 1 to 5, write a summary and a remark for the same lead as well, and it will update all of these details into the same Google spreadsheet in which the Google Form responses are stored. Now let's see this AI agent in action once. I'll just copy the link of this form over here, and in an incognito tab, just open this form and we are going to make a dummy form submission. Let's see, the name of the person is demo user. This is the email address and this is a dummy mobile number over here. After entering these details, the company name is, for example, Pabbly Tudes. The job title is, for example, marketing operations. Now after that, the company size, for example, 51 to 200 people. Then let's add the industry as logistics and supply chain. Let me just correct the job title as operation manager. Then after that, let me just enter a problem over here. So I have already copied a problem. Let me just paste it. The problem is we are looking for a way to automate order tracking and customer notifications without increasing headcount. So this is their problem. Then they are looking for implement the solution in 1 to 3 months. For example, the budget range is, for example, 1,50,000 to 2 lakhs. And we are going to enter these details in rupees over here. And in additional note, we'll enter this particular additional note. So in this way, just now we have entered the details of a dummy user in this Google form over here. Now let's click on submit. And as we click on submit, here you can see just now we have received a new form submission in Google Forms. And the form responses will be added in this Google spreadsheet. And here it is. And as the form responses are added, this AI agent which we have created will trigger and immediately, instantly send the same data to AI platform like OpenAI. And using OpenAI, it has basically analyzed the lead over here and rated it as well. So the lead rating is 5 over here. The summary is this lead is highly qualified due to their clear need for automation, defined timeline, and the budget they align with the potential solution. And also, they have added a remark. This AI agent has analyzed the lead and added the remark as the lead represents a medium-sized logistic company looking for specific integration, indicating a strong potential for a successful sale. So we build this AI agent which will automatically rate and analyze our leads as we get them from Google Forms and update it in Google Spreadsheet itself. Now to connect all of these platforms over here and build this AI agent, we are using Pabbly Connect. So here you can see that we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, just go to your browser and search for Pabbly, pabbly.com/connect. And here you can see we have reached to Pabbly Connect's landing page. Here you have two options, sign in and sign up free. Now, if you're new to Pabbly, by clicking on this sign up free button, you can set up your free Pabbly account in just 2 minutes. Or if you're an existing Pabbly user, just click on sign in. And as we click on sign in, you will reach to this all apps page of Pabbly. Here you just have to click on access now below Pabbly Connect. And as we click on access now, you will reach to Pabbly Connect's dashboard over here. After reaching to this dashboard, we have to create a workflow for this AI agent. For that, just click on this create workflow button and give this workflow a name. Let's say I'll name it as AI agent for lead rating. You can give any other name as per your choice. After naming a workflow, just select the folder of your Pabbly Connect account in which you want to set up this automation and click on create. And as you click on create, here you can see the workflow will open in front of us. In this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation, this AI agent works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with the trigger step. Now the idea here is first we have to connect this Google form with Pabbly Connect with this workflow in the trigger step, so that whenever we receive a new form submission in Google form, the same form responses are also received inside Pabbly Connect and this AI agent will trigger, it will start. Now before we start with the setup over here and connect this Google form or this Google spreadsheet for form responses with Pabbly Connect, what we are going to do from this Google spreadsheet, we will have the details of the dummy form submission which we have made just now a couple of minutes back. But here the rating, summary and remark, these details which we have added, we are going to clear these details because we are going to update these details after analyzing and processing this lead and rating this lead using AI platform like OpenAI after setting up the workflow. So we are just clearing this data, but we will have a data of a form submission in our Google spreadsheet. We will require this to set up the workflow. Now we'll get back to a workflow, and here in this trigger step in choose app, we will search for Google Forms. Just select it. After selecting Google Forms and trigger event from the drop-down, select the trigger event as new response received. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we have to add this webhook URL in this Google spreadsheet over here. So basically we have to connect this Google form with Pabbly Connect, and we all know that the Google form responses are stored in a Google spreadsheet. So from this Google spreadsheet, we will be sending the form responses to this AI agent, to this Pabbly Connect workflow. And to make this connection, we have to add this webhook URL in Google Sheet. And to add the webhook URL, we just have to follow the instructions given below over here. Just copy the webhook URL from here and go to your Google spreadsheet of Google Form responses. After coming to spreadsheet, just go to extensions, add-ons and click on get add-ons. As we click on get add-ons, we will reach to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. Here you can see that Pabbly Connect webhooks, this add-on is already installed in our Google spreadsheet. We just have to install this same add-on into your own Google Sheets account, and after installing it, just refresh your Google Sheets once. This is a very important step. After refreshing our Google Sheet, once again go to extensions, and here you can see Pabbly Connect webhooks. This add-on is already added over here. Just hover on it and click on initial setup. And after clicking on initial setup, this dialog box will appear in front of us, and it is basically asking us three different things: selected sheet, webhook URL and trigger column. Now here in selected sheet, because in this Google spreadsheet we have only one sheet named as form response 1. That's why by default it has selected form response 1. Then here in the field of webhook URL, we are going to enter the exact same webhook URL which Pabbly Connect gave us. Just copy it from here and paste it over here. Then at last it is asking us for the trigger column. Now you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last column of our Google spreadsheet in which the form responses will be added over here. So column L is the last column in which our Google form responses will be added. After column L, in column M, N, O and so on, the details will be updated by this AI agent. But the data will be added by us or by the user or the form response. The last column is column L over here. So we are going to select column L as our trigger column. We'll go to initial setup once again. Once again, I'll just paste the same webhook URL and enter the trigger column as column L. After that, because we have a row of data, because we have a form response over here in this Google spreadsheet in row 2, we will just click on this send test button. And as we click on send test, it is showing us that the test data is sent successfully. This means the data of the very first row after headers, the data of row number 2 is now successfully sent to Pabbly Connect. And we'll come to a Pabbly Connect workflow, and here you can see that in trigger step, we have received this response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. In this response, you can see we have the same problem over here. So same response for the problem which we have received from Google Form response and is added in this Google spreadsheet. Then after that, we have the trigger column over here. We have the timestamp that at what date and time the form submission was done. We'll scroll down further. Here you can see we have the same response of phone number. We have the row index as well, that in which particular row of the Google Sheet the data is stored, the form responses are stored. We have the same job title, same industry, same duration over here, same name, email address, and we have the complete Google Form responses. So this means we have successfully connected this Google form over here with Pabbly Connect with this AI agent in the trigger step, and the step 1 of setting up this AI agent is completed. Now we'll get back to this Google Sheet and click on this submit button. After clicking on submit, it is showing us that the setup is configured successfully. We'll just close this window. Once again, go to extensions, Pabbly Connect webhook, and this time we have to select this option of send on event. By selecting send on event, we are telling this Google Sheet, we are telling this add-on that whenever a new row of data is added, whenever a new Google form submission is received and the responses are added in this Google spreadsheet, then immediately, instantly send that data to this webhook URL to Pabbly Connect. And this AI agent will trigger after that. Now after this, let's move to step 2. And in step 2, using this AI agent, we are going to send these form responses to AI platform like OpenAI so that we can rate these responses, these leads, and analyze the output as well. For that, we will just scroll down, come to this action step, and here in choose app, I will search for OpenAI and just select it. After selecting OpenAI, in action event from the drop-down, select the action event as ChatGPT structured AI output. Then just click on connect and select add new connection. Now here we have to connect our OpenAI account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API key of our OpenAI account. And to get the API key, just log into your OpenAI account and from the dashboard, go to this API key section. Then just click on this create new secret key button and give this API key a name. Let's say I'll name it as Pabbly Connect. Then just select the project of your OpenAI account for which you are generating the API key and select the permission as all. And click on this create secret key button. As you click on create secret key, the API key will be generated. Just copy the API key from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after pasting the API key, just click on save. And as we click on save, we will see our OpenAI account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, it is asking us to select the AI model. So in this drop-down here, you can see a list of all the models of OpenAI using which we can ask a question to ChatGPT and get a structured response in return. Now you must be thinking, what is this structured response? So we will come to that in a couple of minutes later. But here from this drop-down, you can select the model using which you want to basically analyze and rate the leads which we are getting. Let's say I will be using GPT-4o Mini as the model. Then it is asking us for the role, that by which role you want to send the prompt or want to send the details to OpenAI, to ChatGPT. Now you can select any role from the drop-down like user, system, or assistant. And if you want to send the prompt in multiple roles, like let's say you want to send a different system prompt and a different user prompt and a different assistant prompt, and like that, if you want to send layered prompt to OpenAI, in that case, what you can do, you can just turn this mapping button on. And here you can see, as it is mentioned in the help text below, separated by comma, you can enter multiple roles over here. Like I want to enter 2 roles over here. I want to send the prompt as a system prompt and a user prompt. So I'm writing system, comma, user. As I do that, here you can see automatically the number of roles which we have added separated by comma over here, the same number of fields will be added. So here we have the field of content system where we can enter our system prompt, and we have the field of content user where we can enter the user prompt as well. So in this way, you can basically enter the comma separated roles and enter the prompt for those roles as well to create a layered prompt or layered request to ChatGPT, to OpenAI. Now I have already created the system prompt and the user prompt. So let me just enter these prompts over here. Okay, so these are the prompts which I want to enter. I want to enter the system prompt as you are a lead qualification expert. Based on the following lead details, rate the lead on the scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is highly qualified, and provide a 1-sentence summary and reasoning. Also add a short remark or description to explain the qualification. Return the output in JSON format with fields like rating, summary, and remark. So this is my system prompt, and here in user prompt, we are going to enter the details of the lead which we have received from Google Form responses over here. Now we have received the Google Form responses into the trigger step of our workflow. So here from the trigger step responses, one by one, we have to add all of these responses to this OpenAI action step. And to add the trigger step responses to the action step, we are going to use a process called mapping. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field of content user over here, and here in front of name, we'll just bring our cursor and we want to add the full name of the lead which we have received from Google Forms. So here in this drop down, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Google Forms in the trigger step. So from the drop down, from the trigger step responses, we'll select the response of full name and it will be mapped. Then we'll just click here in front of email and we'll select the response of email address and map it. Then similarly, we are going to map the rest of the details as well. So let's map the phone number over here. Then we are going to map the response of the company name, and here it is. Then we are going to map the response of job title, operations manager. Let's map the response of company size. Then we are going to map the response of industry. Then let's map the problem over here. Let's search for the response of problem, and here it is. Then we are going to map the response of timeline as well, that what is the timeline they have selected to resolve this issue. So here it is, the timeline. Let's map the response of budget, and at last the notes as well. So in this way, what is going to happen, one by one, all the responses which we are getting from Google Form with the lead, from the lead responses, all of these details will be sent to OpenAI for analysis. After entering your prompt and mapping all the form responses over here, in the next field, it is asking us response format. Now, here in our prompt, we have clearly mentioned that we want the response in a JSON format, and we want these three things. Every time the OpenAI is going to analyze these details, we want individual responses for these three things, because we want to add individually all of these details in our Google spreadsheet. So basically, we want a structure, a proper structure of response from OpenAI. And to get a structured response of OpenAI, we have to basically mention it over here. And to enter the response format, here in the help text, it is mentioned that we have to enter it like this. First, we have to write this over here in curly braces over here. And after that, we are mentioning that the response format, the response type is JSON schema. We want the response as a JSON schema. And what is the structure? What should be the JSON schema of the response? We have to enter it over here. Now you must be thinking, what is this JSON schema and how you can create this JSON schema, this JSON structure of your choice to get a structured response. So don't worry, you don't need to have any knowledge of JSON. OpenAI has a tool using which, just by explaining the kind of response you want to receive, it will automatically generate the JSON schema. For that, just go to your OpenAI account, and from the docs section on the left sidebar, you will get this option of structured output. Just click on it and click on this generate button. Then here in this pop-up window, we just have to explain that what are the details, what kind of response we want from OpenAI. And it will generate the JSON schema according to that. So let's see, I'm explaining over here, I'm writing analyze the lead and provide the response with the rating between 1 to 5, a summary and a remark, all as strings. So I've explained that these three things I want. I want a rating between 1 to 5, I want a summary and the remark. And let's click on create. And as I click on create here, you can see using this tool of OpenAI, it will automatically generate a JSON schema, and here it is. And in this JSON schema, we are getting three responses: rating, summary, and remark over here. We will just copy this JSON schema. We don't have to make any changes. Just copy it from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here in front of JSON schema. And after that, after entering the response format or the JSON schema over here, it is asking us for the user. So if you want to send the details of a lead with a unique identification number or a unique identifier so that you can monitor and detect the abuse, you have to enter that unique identifier over here, like a unique lead ID. But right now, I don't want to monitor or basically detect any kind of abuse using this action step. So we are just going to keep this field as blank. Also, the kind of response, the kind of result you are getting from OpenAI, you can twerk it and make some changes according to that. So you can enter the max token, sampling type, sampling value, presence penalty, frequency penalty. You can enter or twerk the values over here to basically get the desired kind of or desired creative response from OpenAI. Right now, I'm just going with the default values, and we will just click on this save and send test request button. And as I click on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received some response. And in this response, you can see in the JSON schema, we mentioned three fields of rating, summary, and remark, and we have received the response for the same three fields over here. In front of rating, we have received the rating of the lead over here, whose response we have received from Google Forms. In front of summary, we have the summary of the lead, and in front of remark, we have the remark of the lead as well. So in this way, using OpenAI, we have basically analyzed and rated this lead which we are receiving from Google Forms. After getting the rating of the lead and the analysis, we just want to add the responses of the lead, update the lead details in our Google spreadsheet. So in the same Google spreadsheet in which we are getting the Google Form responses, we have added three more columns later on. The first one is of rating, second one is of summary, and the third one is of remark. And in the same row, in these three columns, we want to update the result of the rating over here. For that, we will scroll down, click on this Add Action Step button, and here in Choose App, we are going to search for Google Sheets over here. Just select it. After selecting Google Sheets, in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Update Row. After selecting the action event, just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here we have to connect our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this Sign In with Google button. Select your Google Sheets account. After selecting the account, just scroll down and click on Continue. And as we click on continue, we will see our Google Sheets account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, the first thing it asks us is to select the spreadsheet. So in this drop down here, you can see a list of all the spreadsheets that we have created in our Google Sheets account. Out of all of this, the spreadsheet in which we want to update these details is the same spreadsheet in which we are adding the Google form responses. And this is the name of the spreadsheet. We are going to select the same spreadsheet over here. Now in this spreadsheet, we know that we have only one sheet named as form response 1. And here in this drop down of select sheet, we have only one option of the same sheet, so we are going to select it. Then it is asking us for the row index, that in this Google spreadsheet, in this sheet, in which particular row we want to update the data. So we have received the row index, the row number over here from which we have received the form response in the trigger step. So here in the trigger step responses of Google form, we have basically received the responses from the same Google spreadsheet. And in these responses, we have received the response of row index as well. And in the same row in front of that, we want to update the data or update the ratings over here received from OpenAI. So what we are going to do from trigger step responses, we are going to map this response of row index to this Google Sheets action step. Just click on this field of row index and from the drop down from Google form responses, select the response of row index and it will be mapped. Then all the columns of data which we have created in this Google spreadsheet, you can see all of these columns as fields inside Pabbly Connect. So these are the columns with form responses, so we don't want to update that. What we want to do, we want to basically update the additional columns which we have added later on to update the rating, summary and remark. So here we'll just come to these columns over here and we'll just click on this field of rating. After that, from OpenAI, we have received the response of rating over here. We are just going to use the same process of mapping and map it over here. In the field of summary, we are going to map the response of summary received from OpenAI, and in remark, we are going to map the remark as well. After mapping these details into these additional columns, just click on Save and Send Test Request. And as we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received the response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here, basically the rating and the analysis result which we have received from OpenAI of a new lead is now updated in our Google spreadsheet. So let's check it. We will just go to a Google spreadsheet and yes, here in this Google spreadsheet, in the same columns in which we have mapped the data, the details are updated. The rating of the lead which we have received from OpenAI is now updated over here. So in this way, we build this AI agent which will capture the Google form responses over here, then automatically send the responses to AI platform like OpenAI to rate the lead over here and get the summary and remark. And then it will update the same rating, summary and remark back in our Google spreadsheet in the same row in which the Google form responses are stored. Now, instead of Google Forms, if you're using some other platform to collect the responses to generate some new leads, then in that case, instead of updating the data in your Google spreadsheet, you can add the form responses with the rest of the details in your Google spreadsheet by adding a new row over here. So not just these applications, you can connect multiple applications to build AI agent and automate different processes of your business using Pabbly Connect. Now let me tell you that you will get a clone link of this same workflow of the same AI agent in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and start using this workflow, this AI agent for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this AI agent, you can just do it for absolutely free.
So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, or if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can always write us in the comment box below or email us at support@pabbly.com. Also, you can post your queries on our forum as well. And if you want to check the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.